Hey, what's up, guys? This is Ricky V, and you're listening to episode number 47 of the Elite Fitness Podcast. And in this one, I'm going to tell you guys about my products. So these are actually two episodes back to back of the evolutionary.org podcast where I talk about all my products, the ones I make. I make it no secret that I sponsor this show and I get on here and talk about my products. And I design my product line for all of you guys out there on the sauce, taking the steroids that know you need to use, that know that you need to use some auxiliary products along to help you along with some of the toxicity that comes from using the synthetic drugs. None of the statements that I ever make about my products have ever been evaluated or approved by the FDA. My products are not meant to treat or to diagnose any diseases, and you should check with your doctor before taking any supplements at all. After having said that, giving you my legal FDA warning there about my products, and also my advertisement disclaimer there about my products, please listen to the next couple of episodes. It's my product line, and just hear me out. See what is in my product line that could probably help your progress along. We ship all over the world, so it doesn't matter where in the world you are. We can ship to you. We use everything from DHL, FedEx, EMS. We get it to you. It'll arrive. Just give us a shot. And again, please listen. Nice long podcast all about my product line. Thank you.
Evolutionary.org podcast coming your way, guys. This is number 348. Today we're doing a special episode. A lot of you guys have been asking about supplements because we do these compound episodes every even number. And I've had a lot of people asking, they want to learn more about the supplements out there. Supplements are a really, really important part of bodybuilding, weight training, being a gym rat. I mean, we all take them, and most of the supplements out there are complete crap. So in this episode, we're going to talk about N2BM, some N2BM supplements, and Rick is here with me, Steve Smee, and Rick, as always. What's up, buddy?
Hey, what's up, Steve? What's up, guys? How's everybody doing out there? So today, we wanted to do a good special episode about my supplement brand, Need to Build Muscle. The sponsors, we've been the sponsors of this show now since, and a lot of you guys reach out to me in social and email me and ask me a lot of questions about products you should take along with your steroids, my brand, and just wanted to do this short podcast, explain to you guys a little bit about my brand and the products we offer. From the time I created my brand, I never wanted to make a supplement brand for newbies, for, like these other brands out there. They're trying to convince people that they're over-the-counter products that are going to give people steroid-like effects. I never wanted to do that because I realized steroids was just too good, and there was just nothing we were going to get over the counter that was going to be as good as steroids we were getting illegally. There was a time where you can get some pro hormones, and those were okay, but still, testosterone, DECA, equipoise, I mean, this stuff is top notch. Nowadays, there is stuff like SARMs and peptides, which are also great, and my products go right along with those as well. So my whole brand is all designed, every single product is designed to be taken along with your steroids. One thing that I get a lot is say, hey, Rick, why is N2Guard $70-something and this other product that's a full post-psychotherapy product is only $49.50? Well, these other quote-unquote post-psychotherapy products aren't really for real steroid users, real people on SARMs or on some of these serious compounds. You can't put in the same bottle your organ cleanser, your testosterone booster, and your anti-estrogen all in one bottle for $49. Guys, this is impossible. Not only is it not suitable to have all of those tied in one bottle, in one product, because you need to do different things at different times, but you just can't get enough of the ingredients you actually need in at these amounts and at this weight. You know, N2Guard is just your organ support, your liver cleanser, kidneys, heart support, uh, water retention support, cholesterol support is all in one. You need about 7 capsules of about 40 something ingredients just to do that. And then I have a completely separate product to help boost testosterone, grow your testicles back, improve libido. And that is HCGenerate. And that's 5 capsules a day. And that's how much you need to accomplish that. As far as an anti-estrogen, for a while, I've made Liquidex AI, which is a liquid arimistane, which is the best over-the-counter anti-estrogen anybody could ever buy. And the reason I make these all in separate bottles is because you wouldn't really use them all together. This is why when I see guys buying these all-in-one post-psychotherapy products, I'm dumbfounded. I don't understand it, because you don't need the anti-estrogen all the time. Sometimes you do need to take the testosterone booster, but you don't need to take the anti-estrogen. Sometimes you need to take the testosterone booster longer than the anti-estrogen. Sometimes you need to take the anti-E longer than the testosterone booster. And there are times where you need to take the liver support, kidney support, the organ cleansing product, and you don't need a testosterone booster, or maybe you don't want to take an anti-estrogen. So these all-in-one post-psychotherapy products, they are severely underdosed for what you guys need at that price and at that weight. But 2, they're not really made for really hardcore steroid users, because you just don't get the flexibility you get in having the different bottles that you can fit into your program separately. So when it comes to N2Guard, which is one of our more popular products, we were really the first company out there to really put together this all-in-one 4 steroid support product. And when we first started the product, we were going to do an animal pack kind of product. It was going to be a box with 30 little sachets. Each sachet would have about 7 different capsules in there, and tablets. And we would have these are going to be your liver support. Those are going to be your kidney support. Those are going to be your heart health. This is cholesterol. They will all be different, and people would take a packet each day. And that was the idea. And being a small company, just getting started, we went to quote this job, and it was just so incredibly expensive to do different color capsules, different everything. You know, especially the fact that we wanted to put in good, effective amounts of all of these ingredients and do it in different colors and sachets and all that. And our manufacturer just said, look, guys, this is a great formula. I see what you guys are trying to do here. But for me to run different looking tablets and caps and sachet is really expensive. How about we put it all in one bottle, 7 capsules, 1 color, 1 bottle, and you're good to go. And, you know, you would get all the ingredients in there, which is what we're trying to accomplish. And look, we went with it that way. So it's 7 capsules of N2Guard every single day. A bottle lasts you a month. And our idea was, a sachet with different looking capsules and different looking tabs, and really get it across to people all of the different supplements you're getting in this product in N2Guard. But instead, we just put it all in 1 capsule. You guys can go to N2Guard.com, N2Guard.com, find out some more information, and get a link out to where to buy it as well from there. You can buy N2Guard at needtobuildmuscle.com. That's needtobuildmuscle.com. Or you can go to N2, B as in boy, M as in Mary.com. And those will forward you right to places where you can buy my product. So N2Guard, the way you'd want to use it ideally is this. If you're taking an oral cycle, during your oral cycle, you want to take N2Guard in order to help cleanse your liver as you're taking oral steroids. You don't want to take N2Guard at the same time as your oral steroids. You can take N2Guard once a day. That's fine. With a meal, that's fine. And then just take your steroids spread throughout the day in between meals. You don't want to take it at the same time, because the steroids that you take along with it around the same time, if they're in your gut with the N2Guard at the same time, you're just not going to get everything out of those steroids. Your liver is going to chop them down pretty quickly, and you're just not going to get that much. So you want to take the N2Guard maybe once a day with a big meal, and then spread your steroids out throughout the day. Some guys will only take N2Guard when they are your oral steroids. Also, you can take N2Guard for PCT. It's a good way to cleanse your body after your steroid cycle. Or you can also take N2Guard just every day, whether you're on or off. It does have daily multivitamins and minerals that your body needs, good amount of each, and it has several other ingredients to just help cleanse your organs. It's just a good product to take year round. There's people in my family that don't take steroids, don't even work out, but they still just take N2Guard for health as a daily multivitamin, which really all of us should be taking. So N2Guard, that's one of my more popular products. It was a really unique idea that we had 10 years ago now to put out a cycle support product to an N2Guard and some more, along with daily multivitamin, daily multiminerals, and ingredients to help your heart cholesterol levels, to just help them along that you need as a steroid user. Now, HCGenerate, or N2Generate as we call it now, you can go to HCGenerate.com. We had to change the name from HCGenerate to N2Generate because the credit card processors didn't want to deal with us, and even Amazon didn't like the name of the product. So we had to change it to N2Generate. This is your testosterone booster, post-cycle therapy. This is the one you want to take when your nuts are getting shriveled. This is the one you want to take when your libido is getting low. And sometimes you might want to take the N2Generate and not take the liver support for whatever reason. For example, you might only want to take the N2Generate at the end of the cycle, after take it along with the Clomid, so that the Clomid doesn't let you feel like shit. You know, the N2Generate with the tribulus, with the Fedosia, with the different ingredients in there, you really feel good during a post-cycle therapy, as opposed to just getting, you know, really moody and feeling shitty for the Clomid. The HCGenerate really helps. If you take it along with your cycle, it's a way to minimize suppression and not kill your whole testosterone production completely with the steroids. And, or you could take it at the end of the cycle just to help your post-cycle therapy along with your Clomid, HCG, whatever else you're doing. You can stack the N2Generate along with the N2Guard. You can stack them together. They work well. Or you can take them separately. You know, on a cycle, somebody might take N2Guard at the very start with their oral steroids, then begin taking N2Generate right as they're coming off of their cycle, finishing their cycle to begin recovery. Take N2Generate right along with their Clomid, and then add N2Guard with the, you know, the very end of that Clomid cycle again to cleanse your organs, to cleanse your body after the steroid cycle. So there's really different ways you can use the products. You can stack them together, put them together for better results, and they're supposed to fit in. And guys, yeah, for good organ support for steroid users, you do need about 7 capsules a day. And yes, for good cycle support, testosterone boosting effects after a cycle, during a cycle, you do need 5 capsules per day. These are the amounts. If you're buying an all-in-one that has testosterone booster and liver support, and, you know, it's only 5 capsules, not getting everything you really need, in my opinion, guys. You know, this is why my products are loaded like this. So those are the main 2 you wanna research. There is HCGenerate ES, the extra strength version, and I put that one together right around the time that I turned 33, 34, and the regular HCGenerate, although it always works great, I just wanted an extra boost, because I ended up adding epimedium and adding endocarbinol to my regimen. And I said, hey, why don't I add some of this epimedium, endocarbinol, L-Dopa to a newer, improved version of HCGenerate? Because if I'm selling HCGenerate and I'm adding some additional ingredients to it now, I'm not being real with my brand. I need to release a second product along with these added ingredients, which I've added as I gotten older, because look, they put lead in my pencil. You know, L-Dopa, the L-Dopa from the Mucuna pruriens, and the epimedium, the good high quality epimedium we use from mahoney goatweed, they put some lead in your pencil, serious lead in your pencil. So I added that and another a total of 10 new ingredients in HCGenerate ES, which is our extra strength version of that product. If you guys have any questions about any of these products and want to reach out to me, Big Rick Rock at needtobuildmuscle.com. That's BIGRICKROCK, Big Rick Rock at needtobuildmuscle.com. Yeah, that's my email address, and just hit me there, and I'll be more than happy to answer any of your questions, even call you for a consult if you need help with your cycle, with your protocol, with everything you're doing. Just hit me up, reach out. The kind of third product I wanted to talk about today, which is probably one of my strongest products and one of the more popular ones, is N2Slin. So N2Slin is basically a nutrient partitioner. It works to help you gain muscle mass and lose body fat using your insulin pathway. It basically makes your fat cells more resistant to that insulin, and it helps your muscle cells become more sensitive to that insulin. It does have several ingredients, and it's a pretty heavy product to accomplish that. You get a lot of different ingredients in there that help you with that. And if you use the N2Slin along with your steroid cycle, these results are going to be greatly enhanced. I mean, it really works really well with steroids. What I wanted to do with N2Slin is I wanted to give guys a product that they could run along with the steroids to enhance, to amplify the results of the steroids. Same as a professional bodybuilder would use insulin along with their steroid cycle to become monsters. N2Slin, it's basically like that insulin on training wheels. You're not adding synthetic insulin to your system. You're just enhancing everything your body can do with the insulin it's already making. And it really, really helps along with your steroid program. What's great about N2Slin is that the product, because it works through the insulin pathway, which is responsible for really depositing the calories in the different cells in your body, it'll do whatever you need it to do. So if you're on a very strict diet, low carb, high protein, and you're training to really shred up, the N2Slin will enhance that. If you're on a high calorie, kind of medium carb, high protein diet, and you're trying to gain a ton of mass, the N2Slin will work to help you with that. The way you use N2Slin is you take it about 30 to 45 minutes before you eat. If you're going to have a lot of carbs, then you want to take 2 to 3 to 4 capsules. If you're only going to have a little bit of carbs, then you take 1 capsule about 30 to 45 minutes before each meal. The N2Slin gets into your body, activates, and it really, all of the ingredients, the whole formula there is meant to help your muscle cells become more sensitive to that insulin and really let in a lot more of those calories that you're eating. And it's also meant to help your fat cells become a bit more resistant and taking less of those calories that you're about to eat, take less of those in, stored energy inside the fat cells. Not only that, but again, when you have the androgens, the steroids flowing through your system, it really enhances the way your body works on those. And, you can take N2Slin on its own. It's very powerful on its own. You feel like you've carb loaded. After you've been taking N2Slin for a few days, you gain a couple of extra pounds while you're on it. It's just a little carb load. You walk around with this little pump everywhere when you're on N2Slin. And really, N2Slin is just that product that if you want to get that next level of results from your steroids, just add that in. And everything, whatever you're doing, whether you're trying to cut or you're trying to gain weight, it just happens a lot more effortlessly. When we talk about guys having good genetics, right? A lot of those good genetics we're talking about is just this. They have muscle cells that are more sensitive to insulin. They have fat cells that are more resistant to insulin. So they're natural, leaner guys. They'll gain hard mass really fast. This is kind of, this genetically, some people are just built this way. N2Slin, while you're taking it, it takes advantage of that same kind of system. It works to help your body distribute calories the way that we want it to happen, to help us look our best, man. So N2Slin is just a good product to take on or off cycle. It's great on steroids. It's great without the steroids to just help maintain. Is great for people that are natural. And it really works exploiting that insulin pathway to create muscle mass and to help you burn fat. And what's great about it is it doesn't affect your natural testosterone production. So you could take it off cycle, on cycle. You take it pretty much any way that you want. If you go to N2Slin, SLIN.com, N2Slin.com, it'll forward you right to a page where you can buy N2Slin and get more information about it. So if you run the steroids, you need about 1 bottle of N2Slin per month. If it's a cutting cycle, low carb, a whole bottle might last you a couple of months. If you're bulking and, a lot of carbohydrates and you're trying to make that bulk as lean of a bulk as you possibly can, then you're probably going to go through about a bottle every 15 to 20 days. If you're really taking, 3 to 4 capsules before each meal, because you're taking in a lot of carbohydrate calories to gain mass. So it's a great product for guys to use, are not ready and really you probably shouldn't take the jump to just using and injecting straight insulin. You can use N2Slin. And one curious thing about it is this as well, guys. You'll know it works if you take 3 capsules of N2Slin. You've got about 30 minutes to 45 minutes to get some calories in you. Or otherwise, you'll start to feel a little bit lightheaded and you'll feel the sugar drop. And you'll feel that drop in sugar and energies from your blood system. Once the product is in your system, it activates. A lot of that energy flowing around your blood system gets taken up, gets gobbled up by cells, and you need to eat. If you take the N2Slin 2-3 capsules and you don't eat right away, in about 30 or 45 minutes, you start to feel really lightheaded. You want to make sure that you get some calories in and you eat shortly after you take the product to make sure. So this podcast really, we have over 15 different products in the N2BM muscle line. But the 3 that I wanted to focus on in this podcast for you guys who are all using steroids, on testosterone replacement therapy, on SARMs, is N2Guard to help your organs, cleanse your organs, your body along from all of these different oral compounds you're taking and even the injectables. HCGenerate to help your libido and your sex life and your sex drive, you stay nice and healthy, your mood, everything, so that you can recover from the use. And N2Slin, which works to enhance the insulin pathway towards gaining muscle mass and losing body fat. All 3 of these you can and should take along with your steroid cycles, TRT, SARMs, peptides, whatever it is you're doing. These really are the 3 main support products you're going to want. And I have other fancy stuff, which I'll discuss in other podcasts, like the N2 shampoo, which is a shampoo to help you from losing your hair, specifically losing your hair from steroid use. We have your Him Flame, which is a topical fat burner that you apply right on the areas that you're trying to lose body fat in. We also have Ancient Strength, which is our really nice, fancy triple creatine formula. It's 3 different creatines in Ancient Strength. We have N2KTS, which is our pre-workout. It contains ephedra virus. Tell anybody, but it's a legal ephedra. The alkaloids are illegal, but ephedra itself, it's really not if it doesn't contain the illegal alkaloids. And we have a version of it in N2KTS. So you get a nice energy boost with the N2KTS. It's all on my website. So I'll definitely, as in the podcast that are coming up, I'll discuss some other products in my product line. I want you guys that listen to the podcast, that have been listening to Steve and I for all this time. I'd like you guys to please come out, support the store, help us stay online, help us continue to do this podcast for you guys from here on out, years on end. I mean, this is what I do, guys. I don't sell juice. I don't sell SARMs. I don't sell pro hormones. The way that I fund my life basically is my N2BM muscle supplement company and helping you guys. I have some of you guys that are consultation clients that pay me on a monthly basis to consult with me and for me to help you along in your journey. And this is my life's work. This is what I dedicate every waking moment of my life to, is just helping guys reach their goals, helping people stay healthy, helping you look your very best, helping you get everything in order from your sleep to your digestion, everything in your health that you guys need. That's kind of what Steve and I have dedicated, a big chunk of our lives for, right? I mean, I've been in this industry now, helping guys with their cycle support for about 20 years. Started this off as a young man, working as a director of sales for some of the first companies to sell pro hormones on the market. So I've helped guys with their cycle for years and been using steroids myself for years. And yeah, man, N2buildmuscle.com. That's my brand. That's my website. Guys, please come out and support. And if you have any questions about your steroid cycle or about what products are right for you, sure to email me at bigrickrock@needtobuildmuscle.com. That's BIGRICKROCK at needtobuildmuscle.com. I'll add all of these URLs to the description of this podcast. So if you're listening on iTunes, on Spotify, if you're listening it on an embedded page, you should be able to see all these links at the very bottom of the podcast.
Yeah, I just wanted to jump in, Rick. Let me kind of give my opinions on these products. First of all, the N2Guard, what we talked about to start. N2Guard, the amazing thing about N2Guard, it's got 44 different ingredients. So back in the day before I started using N2Guard, I used to go to the vitamin shop and I used to grab like 10, 15 different things off the shelf to take when I would run my cycles. So with N2Guard, you just have to run just the N2Guard, 7 caps a day. So it's really cut down on how much I spend on supplements and just the pain of taking so many different supplements. You can look up videos from guys in the 70s. They used to have supplements on the shelf. They used to go up, grab one supplement, take a bunch, grab another supplement, take a bunch, grab another supplement, take a bunch. So, it was really a brilliant idea for to just consolidate all that into one bottle. So that's a big help. In terms of N2Generate, HCGenerate, if you look at the ingredient profile, we're talking a gram of Fedosia, a gram of fenugreek, half a gram of 3,4-divinol, half a gram of tribulus, and it's got tongkat ali, it's got boron, and it's got zinc and vitamin E. If you don't have zinc and vitamin E, you cannot produce testosterone. So again, another brilliant formula packed with ingredients. And then the ES version, which Rick mentioned, has even more of those ingredients, and it has some extras like the mucuna, which will actually lower prolactin in the body. Prolactin is the hormone that causes us to have refractory times in between sex. So you will feel more libido and you'll feel more horny in a shorter amount of time in between sex sessions. So it's great to use, like if you're going on a vacation or you're going on your honeymoon or something and you want to be, ready to go quicker, instead of just not feeling like it and needing another day or two to kind of, redo your bullets. And then with the N2Slin, the way I like to use the N2Slin, if you want to burn fat, N2Slin is brilliant. What you do, time restricted eating, and then once you get in your workout, and then before your meal after your workout, take the N2Slin. Take 2 caps before your meal post-workout. And it's going to not only partition the nutrients from that food to make that food even more absorbable and more nutrient dense in your body, feeding your muscles, but it's also going to block fat. So you're not going to have that insulin spike where your body starts storing fat like crazy. So you're basically turning your intermittent fast or time restricted fast that you did, it's actually making it more efficient. So N2Slin is brilliant to use. I think that's a great idea to get for really anybody, because we live in a society, here, most of us live in the United States, and our insulin levels are so elevated all day. So you can do with N2Slin, you can run one cap every 3 hours, and that kind of keeps your body in fat burning mode the whole day. Or you can just take 2 before your moderate to large meals. And then you can take one before a smaller meal or a snack. And that will basically help nutrition partition your food and block fat from being stored. And again, it's all in the ingredients, guys. You can go through these ingredients and you can look at what each ingredient does. And there's studies that show these ingredients do exactly what I'm telling you. And if you combine them together, wow, that's where the formula really, really shines versus just using these supplements by themselves. So great formula as well. N2Slin is a great formula, Rick. All three of these products, the N2Guard, N2Generate, N2Slin, these are my three favorites. And these are ones that I use. I use them on cycle. I use them PCT. I use them after cycle. I use them between cycles. So very, very important. These three supplements, they will take your levels. They would take your fitness to another level, basically, by using these. And the nice thing about N2Guard 2 on cycle is we're talking 6-7 different liver support aids, including TUDCA, which is something that you're not going to be able to find legit TUDCA really in any supplement store online in any of these formulas. Most of these formulas, it's just some milk thistle, a couple of vitamins, a couple of amino acids, and they're like, oh, take this for your liver. That's bullshit. You need to use something that has good ingredients.
TUDCA is extremely expensive. It's one of the more expensive over-the-counter compounds you can purchase right now. So a lot of brands either won't use TUDCA at all, or they'll do just a one TUDCA only supplement. And when it came down to it, we could either have a separate TUDCA supplement and just have the N2Guard formula and keep that at a low price, or we can add the TUDCA into N2Guard. The price would be a little bit up there, but still be cheaper, way cheaper than buying this TUDCA separately from everything else, because you've got to pay to have it bottled, sticker, capsulated, everything. I mean, from the cap to the cotton that's in the bottle, you're paying for over again. Where we can just one time, one big bottle, one big sticker, one big run of capsules, one cotton, one cap, one seal. It brings the overall price down, and it brings the value of the product up. Obviously, N2Guard, if you put it next to other cycle support products, is going to be a few dollars more expensive. But how many of those other products have TUDCA in them? And a good amount of TUDCA. We don't. The reason you need 7 capsules is because we don't pixie dust. You can flip the label. Right on the label, we disclose every weight of every compound of every ingredient in there. It's heavy. We're putting 250 milligrams per day of TUDCA in the product, along with the milk thistle, prickly leaf, and every other ingredient we've got in there for the liver. I mean, it's a full liver support formula, not just a bottle of TUDCA, not just a bottle of milk thistle, not just a bottle of prickly leaf. I mean, it's a full formula.
All right, guys. So that pretty much sums it up, guys. Check out the products. Come on our forums. We have a lot of information. Really, you can find almost all these ingredients that are in these products. We have articles on them. So evolutionary.org is your one-stop shop, one-stop informational source for learning about all these supplements. So I hope you guys who've been emailing me and wanting us to do a supplement show take advantage of it and check out the ingredients that are in these products and learn more about these ingredients, because they can really take your fitness to another level. For Steve, Smee, and Rick, this has been episode number 348, and we'll talk to you guys next week with another episode. Thanks a lot, guys.
Have a good one, Steve. Have a good one, guys. Thank you very much for your support. Thank you for reaching out. Thank you for shopping from our brand. Thank you for listening to our podcast. If it wasn't for all of you guys out there that are paying attention to our content, that are following up with us, we just wouldn't be able to do this for you guys full time. So thank every single one of you out there that reaches out, that spends some of your valuable time listening to us and some of your hard-earned dollars supporting the companies that we work with and supporting our Need to Build Muscle brand. And it's just it means the world to us. We get to be up every day doing what we love to do, which is bodybuilding, fitness, steroids, talking to people about it, experimenting on ourselves. We really get to do that full time because of every single one of you guys out there. So just want to close the show saying thank you. Have a good one, Steve. Have a good one, guys. One more time.
Guys, this is the required legal disclaimer. We are only sharing our experience from years of steroid use. We are not doctors, and none of what we say should be regarded as medical advice. Always check with your doctor before taking any drugs or starting any training program.
Steroid podcast coming away. This is number 350. Steve Smee here and Rick joining me. What's up, man?
Hey, what's up, Steve? What's up, guys? How's everybody doing out there?
So in this episode, guys, we're piggybacking off our last one, 348, where this is going to be the part 2. We're going to continue talking about Rick's company, N2BM, and the products that they have. The first one, we talked about 3 main products, and this one we're going to talk about some more products that he has. And Rick, take it away.
Yeah, guys. So I just wanted to introduce my product line to everybody. We talk about the products on some of the podcasts here and there, but it's just nice to focus 2 episodes to just kind of what the offering is and what we have for you guys at the store. So like I was saying, I developed my product line years and years of just picking up different ideas and learning different things before the whole product line came together. One thing that we were doing very, very early on, I was a young man when we started doing this, was basically using Yahimbi with aloe vera. And we used to use Yahimbi HCl with aloe vera juice. And basically just use a mixture of that on your midsection to really help to target fat loss in that area. You see, there are some actives in the Yahimbi that when they reach certain receptors in your fat cell, it fools the cell into letting go of some of that stored energy. Okay, so Yahimbi works that way. It touches just the right receptors on the fat cell to make it release some of that stored energy, and then for a while after you use the product, while you're using the product, your fat cells are releasing energy into your blood system as long as you are training, doing some kind of cardio or doing something to pick up that energy and burn it. You're going to get that targeted fat loss. Now, obviously, if you just put the product on and then you go eat right afterwards and then you don't work out, we'll still have a surplus of energy circulating, and it will get deposited back as fat somewhere else. But if you're following a good caloric deficit regimen where you have a net loss in fat mass on a daily basis, and you apply the Yahimbi right to that area, it'll start to target fat loss in that area. It's pretty effective. And we were doing this, I would say, circa 2005, 2006. We were doing this. Then one of the guys that I used to get my material from to make topical Yahimbi to get just nice looking abs, he put out a product on the marketplace based in Yahimbi, that same idea. And years later, when I launched Need to Build Muscle, I realized, like, hey, this topical Yahimbi worked incredible. Let me figure out a good way to actually add or make a product that takes advantage of the effects that the Yahimbi has on the fat cells. And that's basically how Yahimflame came around. It came around. So I wanted to add a product to the product line that took advantage of the effects Yahimbi has, because it's just the whole product line really came around. The way everything was developed was just something that I would put together to take with my cycle. And it always ended up being something that I was already doing myself somehow. So it was my take, my version on the topical Yahimbi product. We used Sanafren, raspberry ketones. We used regular Yahimbi, alpha 2 Yahimbi, caffeine. It's got a nice stack of products to target not just real fat loss, but also it helps to dehydrate that area of the skin too. So it gives you a bit of a cosmetic effect that's really not all that permanent, along with helping to target fat loss and helping to target energy release by those fat cells where you're applying the product. So it started off as a spray, and then the thick, heavy ingredients just started to clog the sprays to a pump, and the pump worked great, but it was just a lot of volume as a big liquid product, and shipping liquids in this kind of large volume became a problem logistically. So over time we moved on from using this kind of very liquid, very soft, very not very viscous uh, liquid, to something with more viscosity, more body, which it's basically now the presentation that we have for you guys for your hemp flame is a roll on. It's cream inside of a roll on stick, and you just roll on one good layer of it on the areas that you're trying to target fat loss. For me, it works great with AM cardio. I think over the years, it's probably been one of the things that's really helped me get rid of belly fat and kind of bring out definition in my abs. Is I started kind of using that Yahimbi really early on, like when I was about 24, 25. I was getting the Yahimbi HCl powder, just mixing it with aloe vera juice, and pretty much applying it on my belly along with my cutting cycles and such. And I think over the years it's helped me keep that area pretty thin,
Yeah.
pretty defined.
Yeah, I was
Have,
gonna say. Yeah, Rick, I was gonna say for me, the way I like to use it is very similar. I'll wake up, I'll spray about 8 squirts onto my stomach area, not just my front abs, but also sides too. Because don't forget, on your sides, we carry a lot of fat, especially on our side of our stomach. So I'll spray it on there, fasted, then go do my workout or cardio, make sure it dries, and then I can feel it burning.
We had the spray for years. Right now, where we have a roll-on stick. Have you used the new product with the roll-on stick, Steve? I can't remember.
No, I just use a spray on, but I use the more modern spray on. After you had those problems, and you switched it to the more modern spray on. So I use the modern spray on. So it's very similar to the roll on. And it pretty much. I mean, you'd want to do the same thing. So with the roll on, how would you apply that versus the 8 squirts?
Well, the ingredients are pretty much all the same, except for a couple of the carriers. And with the roll-on, we really just made a much higher percentage of the mix. Much higher of it is the actual active ingredients, and a much smaller amount of the mix is the carriers. You just condense the product down. You just, instead of having this very liquid product that was meant to go through pumps and go through sprays, you have just something thicker. It's going to be smaller. So now the product is about half of the size that it used to be when it was a spray, and then it went to a pump. And it's very convenient. And all you have to do is, the roll-on is so convenient. You don't even have to get your hands dirty. You just one pass, just up and down motion, just one coat, one pass, and you're good to go. If you really want to apply a lot of it, then just do one pass. Let it air dry for just a few minutes, and you could work it with your hands. No, not a problem at all. And then you go ahead and do another pass. And then also for guys like in our age group that have trouble keeping your chest dry, your hemp flame works great to help keep your chest dry. It really does. And again, your hemp flame is not a magic cream. If you are not on a caloric deficit, you might not notice all the benefits out of it. If you're on a caloric surplus and actually net gaining fat mass on a daily basis, it's probably not going to have a ton of effect on you. It'll help some on the nipples. Some of that additional kind of pointiness and swellingness on the nipples, it'll help with that, no matter if you're gaining or losing fat. That I've seen. will it really make a difference in the midsection? Will it really make a difference on your obliques, on your, on your under chin? If you're really at a net caloric gain, or you're at a net weight gain, it's just not gonna do. It's just not gonna do a lot. But if you are on a net weight loss, if you're losing some body fat mass every day, it'll help you target where to lose it from, and that's been a good experience. You can use your Him Flame with any of your cycles. You can use your Him Flame with any kind of over-the-counter fat burner. You can use it pretty much with anything. From my store, if you mix it with N2Slin, which I discussed in the previous podcast, is a great product. You can do a stack of your Him Flame, N2Slin, and T3 PCT. That's also a great stack for my store. That's a great 3-product non-stimulant fat loss stack that you can that any of you guys can try. And what's great about it is if you use T3 PCT, N2Slin, and your Him Flame together, since it's non-stim, if you are doing a cleanse cycle, which we don't recommend obviously, but if you're doing a cycle maybe with stimulants from another brand, appetite suppressants, stuff that gets you wired up and jittery, then you don't have to worry about my products adding to that or being detrimental to that goal. My products are not stim. They'll still promote fat loss, and then you could take something else and manage your stim intake that way with something that you're already comfortable with.
Yeah, and then what I like about using these supplements, that's a good point, because you're not hurting your health in the process. These supplements are safe, so they're not going to cause any type of side effects that you're going to get from heavy stimulant use. Really, even like drinking like a pre-workout drink is going to cause worse side effects than these. So you can use these products, long term. You don't have to worry about cycling off of them. You can just use them when you want to use them. Don't use them when you don't want to use them. You don't have to worry about hormonal effects. You don't have to worry about them hurting your heart. You don't have to worry about all this stuff. And also it can motivate you towards your fat loss goals, because if you're carrying some extra weight, you've got that dad bod going on, you can run these products and they're not going to hurt you health-wise, and they're going to motivate you to, I'm going to start eating better, because if I don't, these products aren't going to work as good for me. So it makes sense to use these products as more of a motivational factor. So it's a perfect opportunity, especially, if you're during the pandemic and stuff. Once you're coming off the pandemic, we all put on some extra fat, that we don't want. So this is a good opportunity now to get on these products and kind of push toward your fat loss goals. You can implement all these tips that we gave you guys on this podcast before: the time restricted eating, the fasting protocols, all this stuff, and you can use these products while you're doing all this time restricted eating and fasting. Works perfectly.
Yeah, guys, the website is needtobuildmuscle.com. Need, like in, is having a necessity. Build is an edification. Needtobuildmuscle.com, or you guys can go to N2 B as in boy, M as in Mary.com. And there you can find my products. Now, another thing that I wanted to point out is sometimes these products would come up out of a real need that steroid users would have. So, for example, I've noticed a lot of guys using a ton of steroids and not getting good results. And sometimes it was other underlying issues. For example, maybe you have a sluggish thyroid. So it doesn't matter just how much steroids you take. You're always going to be kind of puffy, just powerlifting heavy. Also, you might have insulin sensitivity issues that you're running into, maybe from previous bad diets and things like that. And if you have some of these insulin sensitivity problems, you're just not gonna gain as much mass as you can on each cycle. You're just not gonna look lean and sharp. It just doesn't happen. So something like N2Slin that is there just meant to make sure that the insulin sensitivity is proper for your steroid cycle. It just makes your body accept those steroids just so much better. And same thing with T3 PCT. With T3-PCT, I was trying to address the fact that a lot of people have problems with their thyroids because they're lacking in some key nutrients that the thyroid needs to just make all of the hormones it makes and to function properly. And so if you just address those possible deficiencies somebody could have, their thyroid will just work optimally. The thyroid will work great. And look, you want your thyroid to be functioning properly with every steroid cycle. You need a T3 not only to burn body fat effectively, but you need it to actually gain muscle mass. I'm talking about the T3 that's made by your thyroid gland, that hormone. You need it for both processes. It helps in both. And so you want to make sure that your thyroid functioning properly. It's not sluggish, it's not hyper. You got a really good thyroid health. And look, addressing deficiencies is probably the number one when it comes to the thyroid. It's probably the number one thing that you can do. And so when you take T3-PCT, when you take N2Slin, those two, you're addressing with T3-PCT thyroid issues that cause you maybe not to make the amount of T3, T4, and T2 that you need to make in order to look the way you want to look. And then in N2Slin, you're addressing some of those shitty genetics that we have, and maybe some of that past previous bad nutrition that we had. We're kind of addressing that really, and it's just making your body treat calories the way someone with good genetics body would treat the calories, which is put more of them into the muscle cells because of the stimulus, and put less of them into the fat cells. And and it addresses those issues. One of the reasons my product line looks like this is because I was just addressing issues that steroid users were having, that I was having. I've been on this forums for a long time. People have been asking me questions for a long time, sending me progress pictures. And I realized, like, hey, some guys just don't have the genetics. Some guys are just going to look watery and shitty. Some guys, it's just not it doesn't matter what they do. But let's find what the underlying issues for it are. Let's see what we can do about it. And thyroid and insulin sensitivity kept coming up over and over again. And so we came up with products to address those two issues. And man, you get so much more out of your cutting cycle when you add the N2Slin and the T3-PCT. You just get so much more quicker progress that you get while you're on the two of them with your cycle. You throw in your hem flame to target the areas that you want to lose the fat, right on your nipples, to get rid of that pointy kind of sugar tit look if you're a little chubby, right along obliques, the lower back, so that you have a nicer line right at where your shorts lay down when you take your shirt off. You could really utilize it. I use it under the chin. Just utilize it in really good key spots. Keep it away from your eyes, though, by the way. It'll burn the shit out of your eyes. This is no joke. And when you put on your hem flame, it actually dries clean. It has a very unique smell to it, which a couple of the ingredients in there do. The ketones and the Yahimbi have a pretty kind of strong, kind of spicy smells, but they're not bad. You're gonna be fine. They're the fruity, spicy smells. The ketones and the Yahimbi also has caffeine, cenephrine. The old product, the one that we used to spray on the body, the mist, if you inhaled the mist some, you'd get a buzz because of that caffeine and that cenephrine floating in the air. Nowadays, when you apply it right on the skin, there's less waste. There's more ingredients around the skin, and it dries on clear. Like once the cream has dried, you know it's in there because it goes away. That stack of three, I would say, when it comes to like effortless kind of abs and not getting too crazy and still keeping a lean look, those three really work. And if you're talking about just taking a cutting cycle to that next level, like really looking the part, like really looking hard, those three products, along with a good regimen, it just addresses, when you go on a cutting cycle and all you do is just bang your central nervous system with stims to kill appetite and to keep you going even on a deep caloric deficit, and bang your body with androgens to just spare muscle mass while you're on a caloric deficit. If you just address those two things, look, you get far. A lot of guys have won championships just addressing those two things. But man, guys, I promise you, if on top of that you also address insulin sensitivity, be a product, a glucose disposal agent, maybe product, or a nutrient partitioner product like my N2Slin. And if you address just making sure your thyroid is up to speed, yeah, you can always take some Cytomel, take some T3, use it in a big pyramid for fat loss, use it in a small daily dose for muscle gain, and you could fiddle with that. But look, just optimize thyroid. Make sure your thyroid is making appropriate amounts of everything it can, that is functioning properly. T3 PCT is pretty much the product for that. You're addressing other pathways. And I'm telling you guys, you start addressing those two pathways, your insulin sensitivity and your thyroid. You start to address those two, and man, you'll need so much less stims and so much less steroids to get just a hard look that you're gonna be happy, guys. I recommend my products. Please come out and support.
Yeah, definitely. And, these help. Guys, hormones, very, very important for weight loss. People don't understand that calories in, calories out are a factor. They are. But if you're just paying attention to calories in, calories out, you're going to be disappointed, because your hormones are very important. Your thyroid hormone, your insulin hormones, your glucagon hormones, those hormones in your body, even your testosterone levels. So you could use N2Generate if you had testosterone issues. Use the N2Generate, get your testosterone levels up, but use these products to boost your thyroid hormones, to get your insulin balanced so it's not spiking and high all day, and then to boost it, so your thyroid, your insulin, your glucagon, all these things can be helped with these products. So it's very, very important, guys. You'll drive yourself crazy just saying, oh, I'm eating in a deficit, I'm not losing weight. Well, over time, you will not lose weight eating in a deficit. You have to fix your hormonal issues first. And it's not anyone's fault, but most people have thyroid problems. And it's because of soil depletion, environmental factors, diet factors, processed foods, all the stuff. We grew up, eating cereal every day. So, it's just, these supplements really, really compensate for a lot of the stuff that you're not getting in your diet. So very, very important, guys, for you to, you get your hormones on point, and then you'll start losing fat like nothing.
And all you got there that think you have bad genetics, and you might have some genetics that don't really help your cause and don't really help you when it comes to looking a certain way. Well, these two, N2Slin especially, will address some of that. It won't change your genetics, obviously. We're not that crazy, but the end result of some of that genetic predisposition and some of that also diet, what you do with your diet, which is insulin sensitivity, N2Slin addresses it appropriately. And look, and it takes a lot of ingredients. You have to take it sometimes as many as 4 capsules before a meal if you're going to have a lot of carbohydrates. Sometimes you can get away with just taking one capsule every 6 hours if you're fasting. But at the end of the day, you're going to have to take several capsules per day before with your food. It's not just take a little supplement. You're adding a lot of different compounds and ingredients to your body to achieve something very specific, something that genetics and sometimes bad eating can take away from you, because indulging in sugars at not the right times of the day and blasting your body with insulin from day and night, it does have a very profound effect on your insulin sensitivity. So N2Slin is the one to turn the tables on that. And again, N2Slin, T3 PCT, and your hemp flame. That's your trifecta when it comes to non-stimulant fat loss, and you're gonna be really happy. And again, guys, you can take those 3 products and then go and put together the craziest, Winstrol and GW and caffeine or whatever, ephedra cycle. You can just take those to address insulin, address thyroid hormones, and to actually target area-specific fat loss. And then on top of that, you build. You can go with SARMs and your peptides and your steroids and your central nervous system stimulants. Anything you want to throw at the cause after that, it'll work. It'll click right in, no problem.
Yeah, fat loss very, very important, guys, because we don't want to work out. We work so hard. When you work out, you're trying to build muscle, but what's the point of having muscles if they're going to be covered with fat? So
that's what I was telling you, Steve. That's what I've been telling you, Steve, for the ever since the lockdown, and you haven't been getting out to the gym, and I could tell you've been eating poorly, brother.
No, what's funny is actually no, it's funny is I can't keep my pants on. I've actually stayed really lean. My diet's been on point. But yeah, once the heat is over, I'm gonna be all in, man. So I'm gonna be ripped.
You guys are opened up all over down there where you're at in Florida. You guys opened up already, right?
Yeah, no, not every place is open. Yeah, something like that. But I mean, my gym's still not open, so all that. Yeah, so I mean, guys, it's all about motivation, being motivated. So that's why these supplements are really, really good, because with steroids, steroids, yeah, they motivate you, but man, they come with side effects. So if you can nail down these supplements and use these supplements when you're not on cycle, or use these supplements in between cycles, you can definitely take your stuff to the next level. All right, Rick, what else do we got on this podcast? What are the products we can talk about?
On this one, I really just wanted to address this fat loss trifecta, because they're three products that are very simple, real easy to incorporate into your program, real easy products to take that'll fit right in, non-stimulant, non-hormonal, really, really good. Well, when I say non-stimulant, and it doesn't affect androgen pathway, so it really addresses some key issues in looking good, looking hard, because what's the point of taking steroids and really working out and doing all of this? You just kind of, look, I guess if you're competing is good. If you're doing powerlifting, stuff like that, and you look a little bit pudgy bulky, I mean, I guess why not? But I mean, do you really want to do all of this, take the steroids, and you don't get that hard look? I mean, you don't achieve that clean kind of chiseled look. Like, why do it all? I think you should at least get there once in your lifetime, take some darn good nice pictures at least. But if you can maintain it, if you can add some of these products to your regimen a couple of times a year, keep good solid consistent regimen even when you're off the drugs, then you could achieve that look and look good, good chunk of the year, if not year round, man.
So finish up this podcast, Rick. Give us a rundown of the products again, and give us a couple ways to run them. Give us a couple ways to run them in layman terms, or guys can just write this stuff down and follow it to the T. Give us like 2 or 3 different ways that we can run this for the best result.
Oh, it's pretty simple. So T3 PCT, where you're addressing all of your deficiencies in order to get your thyroid pumping out and functioning properly. You only need 2 capsules of that per day. And just get those 2 capsules in with food with your first meal of the day. If you're fasting or if you're eating 6 meals a day, whatever, just get those 2 capsules in first meal of the day and you're good to go. When it comes to N2Slin, which is the one you want activated through your body, activating cells in your body before you eat, before there's a rush of calories in your system, you want to take that 30 to 45 minutes before you eat. If you're fasting, you can take 1 capsule in the morning with a lot of water. It'll help. It's what you want to do, and it's fine to work that way. And then you can take 1 again every 5 to 6 hours. But if you're gonna eat, if you're gonna have a meal with about 20 to 30 grams of carbohydrates, then you want to take 1 or 2 capsules. If you go over that, 40, 50 grams of carbs, 60, 70 grams of carbs, then you want to go into the 3 capsules, 4 capsule realm. If it's a cheat meal, you could take as many as 6 capsules about 30 minutes, 45 minutes before you have that peak. So that big cheat meal full of carbohydrates, that birthday cake or whatever it is you're going to have, you're to go there. Now, a warning on N2Slin: if you take more than 1 capsule, if you take 2, if you take 3, definitely if you take 4 or 5, You want to make sure you eat. You want to make sure you eat 30 to 45 minutes. You get some calories in you. Otherwise, your blood sugar will drop very sharp. Some of those muscle cells in your body will soak up whatever available energy is in your system, almost like a little carb load. It causes almost like a very little short-term carb load right away on your muscle cells as soon as it's activated, especially if you take 4 to 6 capsules. Man. So you want to make sure you get calories in you, or you might get lightheaded and you might pass the fuck out on me. So make sure you don't play around like that, and you get your calories in. I've heard very similar stories of guys taking insulin, and it's a fucking game, and they shoot their insulin, they go in the shower, take a little too long, and then they like slipping and falling in their tub because they didn't get their calories in right after they shot their insulin. N2Slin will make muscle cells way more sensitive to insulin, way more. They're going to want to load up with carbs, and once it activates, you take it. 30 minutes is activated. If you haven't eaten anything, if your intestine, if your gut is not releasing calories into your blood system, there'll be a sharp drop in calories, and your brain will feel it. So that's very important. So that's the way you use N2Slin is for meals. Now, your Hin Flame, just in the morning, man, rub it on right before AM cardio. Then, you come back home, take your shower, and then rub it on again in key spots, like maybe like around the nipples, and it's a good key spot to put it on. Then go to work, do what you need to do. And then your second shower of the day or your second workout of the day, you can apply it on before your second workout or workout, and take a shower. And then after your shower, again, put a little bit just around maybe a key spot like the nipples. I would go all out, like around ab area, a few minutes before my workout, 10, 15, 20 minutes before I worked out. But if I'm just going to leave it on and I don't have a workout, but just to leave on, but it's just to leave on and there's no workout, just leave it on the nipples. Nipples is a good leave on spot for your Hin Flames. Just leave it on after a shower. If you want to go all the way and do obliques and all that, that's good. But just a leave on. And when your Hin Flame gets on the skin, it doesn't all get released right away. It slow releases a little bit. So just having it on there, it's just helping so that if you do run into caloric surplus throughout the day, and your body is going to store some of that additional energy, some of that additional caloric surplus. At least if you're applying it on the nipples or if you're applying it on your abs, maybe those fat cells won't be as willing, I should say, to take in that additional surplus energy that you ran into at that time of the day, because you had your meal, and then someone had a milkshake they didn't finish, your kid or something, and then you went and had your kid's milkshake that he didn't finish, which I've done that once or twice. And then it just shoots that for that meal. It just shoots the amount of calories that you have for that meal. You could almost double it. If you're used to washing down your food with the water, and then you're Wendy's with your kid or whatever it is where you're at, and then Dad, I don't want this milkshake anymore, and then you guzzle it down, boom, double the calories in that meal already. So that's a good example of just a way to, like, if you keep applying it right on the nipple and just leave a tiny bit on there, just the size of a quarter on there, just roll it on a couple of times a day. It's a good way. It's a good way, I believe, to just keep those fat cells from gaining and from taking in calories.
All right, buddy. I guess that sums it up. Very, very simple stack.
Yeah, you use all three of them. N2Slin before every meal, T3 PCT with one meal out of your day. Just take the 2 capsules. You could take as many as 3 if you want. 4. Wouldn't go past 4, but you could take 4 capsules of T3 PCT per day. Be fine. And then your Hin Flame, the way I just described, just use the 3 of them. And then you could throw your Winnie, your GW, your peptides, your MCAR, your whatever on top of that. You can throw on top of that, and you'll be fine. Your Anavar with albuterol, if that's what you should do, you throw it right on there and be fine.
All right, guys. So this is podcast 350. We'll have another one coming up, 352. We'll have another Q&A coming up, 351 for Steve, Smee, and Rick. Has been Evolutionary Radio. We will talk to you guys next week. Have a good one, guys.
Guys, I appreciate every one of you that comes out and purchases something from my store. I appreciate every one of you guys that listens to the podcast. If it wasn't for you guys taking some of your funds that you have monthly to spend on your fitness and putting those into my brand, I just wouldn't be able to be here and record this podcast a couple of times per week and actually answer everyone's emails and every one of your calls and every one of your messages on Facebook and Instagram, wherever you hit me up. That's what I like to do. I like to help people out with this information that I've already experienced. So you guys coming out, buying some supplements, reaching out to me, asking questions, supporting me, that allows me to continue to do this. And I really appreciate that, guys. You know, I'm living the dream. So please come out and support me. Needtobuildmuscle.com. N as in Nancy, the number 2, B as in boy, M as in Mary.com, N2BM.com, 4 characters there. Just come out and support, please. Grab some of these products that I'm telling you guys about. If you have any questions, Ricky, RICKY, Ricky V, rock.com. You go to rickyvrock.com with a Y, and they'll take you right to my social, and you can come in and ask any questions you have. I have a ton of products that I have access to, and I'm going to be working with other brands as well on some projects. So just come out and ask, come out and support. And I really appreciate you guys allowing me to do this full time. So for years now, I've been working full time helping guys reach their goals now, going winners. And that's pretty amazing. I'm really happy about that. So, all right, Steve. All right, guys. Have a good one, Steve. Have a good one, guys.